Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to build a navigation just like this inside of Framer web development tool. Um quick and easily. But this is a non-functional navigation bar. They don't have any function. This is purely for visual and responsiveness, which this is completely responsive. And I'm going to show you how to do this inside of Framer. I'll probably make a video in the future showing how to give a navigation bar proper functionality, but for now, this is the navigation bar that we have, and I'm going to show you how to make it. So the first thing that you need to do in Framer is make a frame, and do that. You just hit F on your keyboard. You can draw it out. You can either do it up here outside of these canvases, the desktop and tablet and whatnot, or you can do it inside. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to do it out here for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a bit of length. I'm just going to give it a height of, 100 is actually perfect. So I'm going to keep it at 100. Now, the first thing we have here in this is we have this section right here and this section over here. This section is composed of a logo and this logo text, and then we got the navigation links right here. So to make this, the first thing we need to do is we need to get an icon, and luckily this is just a placeholder for any icon that you have. So if you hit insert over here, go scroll down to icons, you can just select one. I'm going to use this one, the material one. Zoom in on it so I can actually click it. There we go. I'm going to drag it up here, and I can make it as big as I want. So I'm just going to make it roughly that big. Now that we have the logo, we got to get some text in here. So how do we get the text? We just hit T on our keyboard, and we input the text. I did cabin crew. I'm going to give it a new name. I'm just going to call it, block venue or something like that. Just a random name. Hover over it, hit Control A to select the text, and I'm going to change it to black. And now we got this text here, stretched out. And in this one, I kind of used, I think it was a semi-bold font. I'm just going to leave this one at a medium weight font. I'm going to keep the Monstrate font type as is. Now, this looks good, but you'll notice that the logo and the text are part of one thing of their own. They're part of one divider, one div element. And so, or one layer, as you can call it. And that's so, I'm going to hold shift, I'm going to select both of these. And I'm going to click it and hit add frame. Now these are both inside of a frame, as you can see on the left over here. Within this frame, I'm going to set the width to fit the content. And I'm going to set the height to fill. Well, to be able to do that, I got to give this a layout first. There we go. And then I'm going to set the height to fill. Just like that. And this looks good. And it automatically made these centered. So what I can do here is I can make a gap between them if I want to. We'll set the gap at 20. 20 looks pretty good, so we'll leave it at that. Now we got to make our other pieces. So the first thing you'll notice, we have home, about, and contact. And the contact one has some other stuff added to it. So I'm going to go in here, I'm just going to type out home. Select it all, change it to black, change the font size. I think I did this one like 16 or something. I'll set it at 18 for now. So now that we have it at 18, I'm going to duplicate this 3 times by hitting Control D. Now I'm going to change this to about, and this one to contact. Now, the contact one looks different. So to get that border, the box around it, I'm going to create a frame around it, just like that. Layout, it's going to automatically center it, which is perfect. And I can adjust the width and height. Set the width to 80 maybe, and the height to 32. That looks good. Except the width should maybe be 100. A height of 36 maybe. Yeah, that looks good. And I actually really like the blue color that it has here, so I'm going to kind of keep that. Instead of the black I used beforehand, I might make it a bit darker. And I'm going to change the text to white. Yeah. and make this a bit of a darker blue. There we go. That looks good. And then from here, I can go to the radius. I'm going to set it to 10 to give it a rounded border. And yeah, that looks very good. I think the width could use a bit more though. The width of 110. I like that. And then I'll also have to set the height to maybe 38. There we go. And now I need to separate the title and logo from the navigation. So to do that, highlight the navigation here. Click them over here, add a frame, and now these are bound by a frame. Set the width to fit the content and the height to fill. So now we got these two pieces here, and the next thing we need to do is we need to separate them by adding a space between, or distributing them between each other, if I could speak. But before we do that, to make it look proper, we got to add some padding on the left. I'm going to add 100 on the left and 100 on the right. Hold down. I usually, to get to the very back of the element easily, just hold Control and click. And then I'm going to hit space between, and there we go. We've now put space between them. But notice that these look a bit crowded. So what I can do is I can just increase the gap to maybe 30 or 40 maybe. 40 looks pretty good. And boom. We got this, and I can just drag this in here. But you'll notice that if you are going to put it inside the canvas here, that it will overextend. So the way to fix that, with fill. And now it's perfectly inside. And now this looks good, except when you decrease the screen sizes, you'll notice that, well, they don't always work as they should. The text starts overlapping, and by the time you get to mobile, the text is completely off the screen. So to fix this, you just have to go into each one and edit it a little bit. So for this, change the font size from 42 to maybe 36. Change the logo size to 65. And decrease the gap from 20 to maybe 15. For this, again, decrease the gap to maybe 35. And reduce the font size to maybe 16? 17 maybe. Nah, 16 looks good. And that means I'll probably have to decrease the width to maybe 105 and then 36. So, whoop. And then, of course, having 100 pixels of padding on each side is a bit much. So to fix this, I'm just going to reduce this to 60 pixels of padding on each side. Even less actually. Let's try 40. Much better. And then for mobile, we still get this problem, but there's a way to fix this. Instead, I'm going to completely edit the size to set the height to fit the content, fit content. And the width is going to be fill, of course, but instead of doing this direction side to side or horizontal distribution, I'm going to do vertical direction, and it's going to stack them just like this. Then I'm going to set the height for this block to fit the content, and the height for this one to fit the content. I'm going to add 10 pixels of padding on the top and 10 pixels of padding on the bottom. I think these are pixels. Just some padding. And of course, edit the sizing of all this because that's way too big. 34, 50. 15. Go. There we go. One thing I will do is I'll add this to the center distribution and give it a spacing of about 12. Looks pretty. Try 15. 15 looked good there. So yeah, usually on mobile you wouldn't do this. You would just add a hamburger menu and use that as a menu. But for this case, I'm using just the vertical distribution instead of the horizontal. And now if I go here, I can adjust the screen size and it will adjust accordingly. So no matter what screen the user is using, it will make sure everything fits properly and looks proper. And I don't know, but I come across even well-made websites today that don't know how to do responsiveness correctly and their text is overlapping. AI will do this too. You ask AI to generate a website, it'll look good, but as soon as you mess around with the screen sizing, it gets all messed up. And so being able to actually make a good quality and good looking website that actually responds properly to screen size changes is a really good skill to have, especially if you do web designing. So yeah, that's all for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and yeah, stay tuned. Maybe like and subscribe, and I'll probably keep pushing out content like this in the future. But yeah, have a great day. That's all I have.